Ikong Nongrang ide kehe pulet IPS jong kabach kasnem syajar kendai sepak kendai puar. Ba ileshimti kene kakam hadir kijing shong that no u Dr. LR Bishnoi kum u Director General ki pulet ke Jylla. Ka Director General ki pulet ke Bathmai jong ke Jylla, kalau ong ba kamram jong ki pulet kalong ban pene ke shong sok shong san ban perking bat ban lap ki kam sneo bat on pe jingmut ba halor kini ki benta. Ilapan pau kijing don kam mat kmi biang ha ka bedai ba kijing jab ki kam thombor persya ki kenthai. Badi ilong bawa la kaladon gajing shimkya bhamanta la bunsnem ndrei kam shumnatan satya gajing hiar ndrei kalaki open ban bat kumta kalong kebadan kam ban perkhat bat ban trei biang hakurukom shim ki senjam hakaban khun persya ekani kamat ilong ru baban phai khamat bha hakbedei bat ki kam sintiat kar bha hakbedei ba gajing ti doyong be an kani ka Director General ki pulet ilong ba kaladon buon ki jing batha na ka sarkar Magladan ru kijing batha nak yang syari bat ki pulet la persang ban tela kam kene kam ndai kijing keli ke bami kalong bagi dan bon ngut ki pat ba ki emlang salang ba kijing kamai jakpo kumta hakan ku rukam ke bahatam ban omno asiliang hakabedei ba kijing kamai jakpo ba ka kam bi an ke bedei bat kene ke benta ilapan pauru kijing sokya ke bedei ba kijing kendrai udrak sa ke Jylla ba dilong ba kanong ba asilong kalong tang ke jaka ke bapenya lenti udrak ndrai menta kala long ka jaka joginong di ba padang kejingi okurup jugi pudet shimlala apat ban pensange ekene korukom khayi ila banjor kejing don kam kejingi trailang kebayajan tang bat ki boran ndrei ba ki weki kenhuan ki badan bentalang hak bani kon persya eu drugs kam tam baki long yeng long sem bat ki emlang salang barok kawai
colleagues of yours, I don't think the female DGP is any criteria for or qualification for being DGP. The fact of the matter is, we have put in more than 30 years of service. So DGP, I don't think female is anything like that. But yes, as one of the I hate this first thing business, but as a female officer, as a woman, I feel very strongly that women have a very different perspective, and I will try to use that perspective to ensure that women themselves feel much better. I mean, feel much safer, not better, much safer, and improve the accessibility which we have, which I know is very. There's a lot of room for improvement on the accessibility of the police to the public. Immediate challenges, I would say, is like I've mentioned in some other forum, that the impression of the perception, rather than impression, the perception that Meghalaya police is hostile to the people. Let me put it very bluntly. Correcting that influence, that perception, and to ensure that the people the police are accessible, are there to help you and not to harass you. In fact, to this end, we would be having a kind of an open house every week, one day of the week between 11 and 1. Most probably it will be on a Thursday. I would love if you would disseminate this information. We would be having open house in the sense that anybody who can walk in, who wants to meet the DG, I will give them a hearing. I will meet them personally. Other days, of course, they would have to take appointments, but most probably it would be a Thursday between 11 and 1 o'clock, and it could spill over. 11 to 2 most likely, that would be more. 11 to 2, we would be I would be accessible to the illegal coal mining. We've had numerous instructions from the government. The NGT has been there. You've had the Justice Committee, which continues. The reports that have come up, the court injunctions, the court orders that have come, the instructions that have come from court, while the police has been, trying to control it. Here also, it's a question of for a large number of people, a large section of society, it's a question of livelihood. So how best we balance the livelihood issue and the illegal part of it.
Ha kabayadai bakarai jang kakenhuan king atiar ke HNLC banweng no nakajingi krani sok. Ini DGP bathamai ilong baka sarkar kalapan pau syai kedar bakalong kabakloy bane krani sok. bat ke jubab ke babiang tam halor kene ke jingkeli kan dai na sarkar halor ke jingkeno jong ke jing sam chithi dawa pisa ke HNLC ikong nongrang iloong ba ke HNLC ke ladak pensyai ba kamdan keti setia ndrai kene ke jingpin shisha karang ya chkhmat lagi de shisha maki ne kinu kinu ki bakam melade kum kit khot ke HNLC ba ke jing toket karang ya chkhmat halor kene ke benta.
I think I'll have to recuse myself from that. Where the peace talks are concerned, it is a decision which the government has made very clear. That they are very open to peace talks. As the DGP of the state, yes, we have seen HNLC. We have faced them. Yes, we have also seen peace talks with the ANVC, and which ended with in a tripartite agreement. We've also seen the problems of implementing that agreement. We've also dealt with GNLA, and we didn't have any kind of peace talks with GNLA and a number of other small other groups. So where HNLC is concerned and peace talks is concerned, I think the right person to talk to would be the government in this case.
Halor ke jing ai jing mot jing ki babuan ba ke Jylla Meghalaya kadai bandan no ela ke jong ka kada bandan syo ak Assam Meghalaya kada ini DGP iloong ba kami hab jing mot ba ke jing dawa ba ke Jylla Meghalaya kan don no la ke jong ka kada ha ka kampulet iloong babun ki breu kem tip setia ba ke dan ke jing tentrekam de roster system ha ke sarkar India ha ga batang kawei lagi lai benta na ka kam kabalak la bentung chik trai Jylla ne kinu kinu ki basyong basa hapo ke Jylla ikong nongrang ila ainuk saru ba ke Jylla Nagaland kabadan yala ka jong ka kada ndre kat nungut pat ki orong ha ke Nagaland kada namar ba ke insider vacancy kami itang haman laki lai snem nagi kam ki balad bat man la ke snem ke jinglat kam kalong tang komba kawe ka kam bat kam long kapati kena bandon ke jinglat kam la ke snem kumta an yo ke insider vacancy tang chisian ha ke lai snem ne chisian ha ke san snem bat agani gurukom ando nong bha ilong balada dai bagi Jylla ke Daniela ke jongka kada kana long ke batikna ba ma iela dieru inum yo ban long ke DGP jong ke Jylla Meghalaya.
Personally, I don't think that is a very good suggestion. Why? Because if you look at it, we are a small state. We would have a small cadre. And the roster system that a lot of people don't know about, there is a roster system in the government of India, where only 1/3 of the vacancies goes to the locals, whoever is the insider, from whoever is a domicile in the state. Okay, so that insider vacancy will arise only every third vacancy. So if you in a small cadre like us, like take a typical example of Nagaland. It's a small cadre. It's always been a separate cadre. You've had nearly every year you have people from Nagaland qualifying. How many of them get into the Nagaland cadre? Because that insider vacancy arises only with every third vacancy, and every year there's only about maybe one. Every second, it's not even a guarantee that you have a vacancy every year. So maybe you get that insider vacancy once every 3 years, once every 4 years, or even once every 5 years. So that way you lose out. Whereas we as a joint cadre, we have the strength of Assam is much more. The strength of Meghalaya is not even 1/3 of Assam, what the strength of the cadre strength of So if we had been a separate cadre, I can guarantee you that I wouldn't have been in Meghalaya DGP. Because even in the year that I qualified, 1992, there were only three vacancies for a joint cadre, and because there were 3 vacancies, one went to an insider, and I was the only insider who had qualified that year. So that's how I landed up in a home cadre. I had 2 friends from Manipur, one friend from one batchmate from Nagaland. He landed up in different cadres. Actually, I would like to say that I think we are our young our youth from Meghalaya have not really been challenged. Because it's for example, like this year, when you look at the people, the fact that we had absolutely nobody from the state who qualified for the examination. We had as many as 8 people from Manipur, despite all 10 people from Manipur who despite all the trouble that Manipur had. Of those 10 people, do you know that 3 of them studied in Shillong, 2 of them right up to college, and 1 of them did the preparation and was successful. in Shillong itself. So to say that Shillong does not have that capacity, or that the education, we need to do this for the education, this, that, I think that is fine. Where the civil services are concerned, it's become much more competitive over the years. It was quite different around 30 years back when I started the civil services. It's very different now. The competition has increased much more. Our youth need to realize that they have to, if it's something that you really want, you really have to struggle for it. It's not that I mean, there have been umpteen number of whether IPS or IAS officers from the state who have qualified before. The examination pattern has not changed very much. But the number of people contesting, the competition for it, yes, has increased. So commensurate with that, the amount of effort that is required will have to be much more than what has gone before.